Ben and Us, an audiobook by Max von Buchau. Chapter 1, Rehabilitation, and Chapter 2, Return to the Fire Station. Ben cocked the string of his sporting bow and aimed at the target that was set up 50 meters in front of him. He squinted his right eye and tried to fix the center of the target with his left eye. After several attempts, he managed to bring the image into focus. He breathed in and out evenly, and then brought his stretched left arm into position. At that moment, he felt the vibration of the cell phone. Ben tried to focus again, but then put the bow down. Why hadn't he turned the damn thing off? "What's up?"
Ben, is that you?
"Tom, who else would it be?"
Glad to talk to you. How are you doing in rehab?
Tom Tanner's voice sounded relieved and a little worried at the same time. "Tom, it's just a clinic. I'm woken up at 8 every morning and given healthy food. I'm not allowed to touch alcoholic beverages, and I must exercise my eye and arm 3 times a day. My caregiver thinks archery would be good exercise. You see, I live like a Buddhist monk."
Have you gotten used to your new eye and new arm yet?
Ben put the bow aside and sat down. "The left eye sees sharper than the right, and the left arm is stronger than the right."
That sounds pretty good to me.
"That's what you're thinking, but it's not that simple. There are problems with spatial vision, and the coordination of the 2 arms is difficult. Try playing the saxophone with 1 artificial arm and 1 healthy arm."
Ben, I can't even play the saxophone with 2 healthy arms. I think there are worse things.
Ben was silent for a moment. "My caregiver doesn't want me to talk about my healthy arm. He thinks every cybernetic organism has organic and artificial parts. The 2 would be equal. So, we're talking about adaptation and cooperation, not healthy and artificial, he always says."
Ben, maybe you're right. It does sound strange, kind of takes some getting used to. But if you're already practicing archery, you seem to be doing pretty well.
Ben stroked his left eye with his right hand. "You said it. Takes some getting used to. Let's talk about something else. So why did you call me?"
How am I going to explain this? The new monitoring system is doing an excellent job. Especially the data exchange between the multifunctional system and the weather satellites is a real improvement.
"So everything is as planned. I already told you then that it won't be long before they replace us completely."
Well, I really don't see that now. The problems always show up after the systems have been in use for some time.
"So are you telling me that you are not satisfied? Is the system not working the way you guys thought it would?"
There are actually some problems that have not been solved yet.
"What problems? Technical problems?"
No, I would say they are more like communication problems.
"So what do you mean by communication problems?"
It's not quite so easy to describe. This monitoring system is extraordinarily sophisticated. It communicates with our weather satellites. It generates regular reports with a detailed risk analysis. It identifies the forest districts where the wildfire risk is greatest. It has already reported a fire outbreak to us very early on 2 occasions, and we were able to deploy our firefighting aircraft in good time. As a result, we were actually able to prevent a forest fire from starting or spreading.
Tom paused for a while until Ben asked, "Well, that sounds really good. That's exactly what you expected from this surveillance system. So everything's all right, isn't it?"
Yes, you could put it that way. Actually, our expectations have been exceeded. A week ago, the system reported a forest area with a greatly increased fire hazard. The alert level 1 was triggered, and we should have initiated a fire protection measure as a preventive measure.
"That means you guys did an on-site inspection, or did you send a firefighting aircraft there right away?"
We probably should have, but the incident command decided against it. According to the data we had, we couldn't understand the risk assessment of the surveillance system. I don't have to tell you that all the measures at alert level 1 are damn elaborate and expensive. So, we downgraded the alert level 1 to alert level 2. A day later, a fire actually did break out in that area of the forest. Fortunately, we were able to put it out just in time before it spread any further.
He paused again. So, Tom, I don't understand why you guys are talking about a communication problem. As you said, your expectations were exceeded. After all, the system is working great, or should we say it's working almost perfectly.
You said it almost too perfectly.
So what's bothering you guys?
After the fire was extinguished, the system initiated an internal affairs complaint against the personnel responsible for the operation, which was us. The complaint contained such strange phrases as, "The personnel currently in charge did not respond adequately to a clear risk warning." It made an unauthorized decision to change the alert level and did not present any valid reasons. It obviously appears to be overtaxed in dealing with crisis situations. Therefore, consideration should be given to replacement. I don't have to tell you that the report hit us like a bomb. Even the state government is worried.
Ben started to laugh and only calmed down after a few minutes. You really have a problem there, but honestly, there's nothing wrong in the report. And you're saying the system sent the report directly to the state government?
That's right.
So don't you guys have any control over what information the system sends to whom?
We're not sure if the system was authorized to do that. We are also not sure what this system is doing on the ground. We also continue to believe that the Level 1 alert was not warranted at this time.
Maybe you guys just need to get used to the new situation. When you use a smart system like this, there are always some surprises. You'll always experience one thing or another that you didn't expect.
Ben, maybe you're right. But we would still like to send someone there. Someone to take a good look around the place.
Then why don't you do that? Maybe then everything will clear up quickly.
That would really be the best thing. We thought we'd send someone there who knew his way around the firehouse. I mean, someone who can assess the whole situation well.
Ben narrowed his eyes. I don't understand what you're trying to say.
I think you understand me perfectly.
Tom, I'm out. As you know, I'm currently in rehab. I'm supposed to be training my replacement eye and this piece of art they call my new left arm.
Ben, it would only be for a few days. We just need an assessment from you. After that, we can take care of everything else.
Ben entered the building somewhat reluctantly and followed the wide corridor to a large double door on which the number 003 was written. As he approached, the door opened automatically and he was able to enter a large room in the center of the dome-shaped building. After the doors had closed again, Ben waited a moment and looked around carefully. There was no table, no chairs, no bar, or anything that looked inviting or friendly in the room. There was just a huge monitor in front of him. Ben was considering leaving the room again when the screen turned on and the operations center icon was visible for a moment. Then the face of an avatar appeared and a calm, emotionless voice was heard.
You were sent to the fire station by the incident command, is that correct?
Ben tried to breathe calmly and answered very matter-of-factly. That is correct. My name is Ben Battenberg, and I used to work here at the old fire station, first with my colleague Carl. When he could no longer work due to illness, he was replaced by the android AFE 3.3, with which I survived a severe forest fire.
A forest fire that destroyed the entire fire station and both of you were injured or damaged. All information and data about this event have been documented and is available to the system.
Ben wasn't sure what the avatar was trying to tell him. Well, then I don't need to introduce myself any further. I just wanted to make it clear that I've worked with androids before. The avatar looked at him without showing any emotion.
Correct. Even though it was an android. First generation with little knowledge and limited analysis capabilities. As far as is known, there were some problems and even a short-term interruption of the cooperation. However, it was the first prolonged interaction between a human and a humanoid system with artificial intelligence, so it can be considered a historical milestone. For future collaboration with androids, the experience is certainly useful.
Ben narrowed his eyes but tried to remain calm. Aha, so that's useful for future cooperation. How then can I imagine our future cooperation? In addition, it would also be of interest to me who I am currently talking to.
I can see you're not entirely happy with how the interview went. You were sent to us by the External Operations Management. It was said that you could take over the technical maintenance and possibly the repair of defective equipment. The fire station androids are already capable of performing this work. However, it would be useful to supplement the existing skills and resources. During the last internal audit, it was decided to improve the fire station's outage management. Therefore, your cooperation is welcome. In any case, however, you should first familiarize yourself with the new conditions and work procedures. Of particular importance are accepting and following the rules that apply in this unit. Regarding your second question, a system coordinator has been appointed to set the overall procedure and make basic decisions. Since names are of great importance to humans, you can call your counterpart Adams, more precisely Adams 2.0, which is short for the Artificial Developing Attendant Multifunctional System.
Ben was still standing in the middle of the room, a bit stiffly, looking at the large monitor. All right, Adams 2.0, so that means you're the head and leader of the fire station. The avatar answered again without changing its facial expressions.
The term leader is not correct. The correct term is coordinator. My job is to evaluate the available data and match the algorithms offered by the system.
Ben increasingly felt he was having a strange conversation in an unwelcoming place. So you're the coordinator of this unit and you make the major decisions.
As I said, they're decisions based on the system's algorithms.
Ben nodded. So be it then. What's the next step?
An android will show you the premises of the fire station and also your accommodation. He will also explain the basic rules of cooperation. Afterwards, you can be assigned to your first work assignment with the appropriate instructions.
All right. Is there a specific daily schedule or time for me to meet?
Those are details that will be communicated to you. For now, you should familiarize yourself with the facilities at the fire station.
Ben nodded again. Is there anything else we should talk about? The avatar's voice remained unchanged.
As I said, what is important is your willingness to understand and accept the rules relevant to the system.
I understand that, but in order to accept these rules, I would first have to know them.
You will be taught about that. Do you have another question that should be answered now?
Ben still had the feeling that he had accidentally ended up in the wrong place. After a short pause, he decided to change the subject. I heard that there is a documentary about the forest fire and how Afa and I worked together. Maybe it would be good for me to have a look at it. This time, Adam's voice had an almost friendly tone.
We can make the documentation available to you. Maybe it will help you better understand how the androids work. We will arrange that. Then we have discussed the most important things for now. As you humans always say at this point, good luck and welcome to your new team.
For a moment, the symbol of the operations center was visible again, then the monitor was switched off. The door opened. Ben left the room and ran to the front door. Outside, he sat down on a staircase, took a deep breath and activated his mobile phone. Without any problems, he reached the operations center and was put through to Tom. So Tom, to start with something positive, the reception for mobile phones here is excellent. The radio mast seems to work really well. The reception for new staff is not particularly friendly, and the first impression is alienating. To be honest, the fire station is unrecognizable. Tom, where have you sent me?